What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to talk about two things. I'm going to talk about number one, Marcus Garvey being pardoned, according to the Associated Press, by President of Joe Biden. We all know that President Joe Biden is about to leave office and turn it over to elected President Donald Trump. However, we can see where Joe Biden has been doing a lot of work in regards to civil rights leaders posthumously getting pardoned. And I think he posthumously pardoned 5 civil rights leaders, including Marcus Garvey. A lot of people have no idea who Marcus Garvey is and the work he did in America. Marcus Garvey is a Jamaican-born national hero. He's the first national hero in Jamaica, and I think he's one of the most publicized and widely known national heroes of Jamaica. A lot of Jamaicans do not know about Marcus Garvey because they don't study Marcus Garvey, and he did so much work overseas, specifically in the United States, in the civil rights movement era. And his ideology and philosophy was to unify all black people across the globe in one movement. And he formed different organizations that supported this move and try to teach black people internationally around the globe that as a person of color, you need to unify as one movement. Separating and segregating people or descendants of slavery, it don't matter what geographical region you're from, it's a complete division that's going to cause chaos among the black population. So that was part of his doctrine. And I implore you to study Marcus Garvey, learn more about Marcus Garvey. He's an American hero, a Jamaican-born American hero, okay, in my view, who helped with a lot of work here in the United States in regards to civil rights movement and so forth and so fifth. Okay, so that's a great thing that President Joe Biden did, and we could understand why he did it. I mean, if you look around the United States today, you can see that a lot of things are not in line with the Constitution and the law of the land of America. Things are just rolling how they roll. It's like a tumbleweed that's just going on without any type of focus, purpose, or any type of focal point. It's just happening in real time. Okay, so throughout this, you'll find that there's a lot of people who are disadvantaged, continue to be disadvantaged, and with the oppressing forces that you could see projected to come, it could get worse with time. Hopefully it don't, and people remain civil and calm and abide to the rule of law. But we all know what can happen in America, okay? History can repeat itself because we haven't put things in place to stop those things that disrupt the rule of law, right? So it's a great thing that President Biden decided to pardon Marcus Garvey. It's a very, very big move. And the magnitude of this move by President Joe Biden, most people will not understand what it means, especially those who do not study history, specifically Caribbean and civil rights history. If you do not study civil rights history, here's your opportunity to start studying about civil rights history in the United States. So what it shows you is that the civil rights movement in America was not only pushed by black people of America, there were also people outside of America. A good example is Marcus Garvey, who came to the United States, saw the disenfranchised, saw the different things that white people are going through, racism, the structure of black people not being able to get into the financial structures, the financial systems in the United States. So those things that Marcus Garvey saw, and I think it's 1923 or somewhere around there, he knew that he had to do something to enlighten black people, wake them up so they could realize that, listen, you can do this work and we're going to get the work done. So he did a lot of work, so much that I cannot put it all in this video. What I'm imploring you to do is study about Marcus Garvey, study the history of what he did in the United States. He did help with a lot of different things. And to see that President Joe Biden pardon him, I think it's a very big move because, of course, we all know that the charge is mail fraud or something to that effect that were trumped up against Marcus Garvey and got him arrested and eventually deported back to Jamaica. Those things were just fabricated things, okay? And you can see now that the evidence is playing out and show you it's true. So Marcus Garvey is from Jamaica, a parish called St. Anne's in Jamaica. That's where he was born, and he's still his birth home is still located in Jamaica. Okay, so that's that. Now I want to talk about the TikTok ban, right? The TikTok ban, and this is a very important topic that I plan to talk on. I probably speak on it again in different videos, right? But it's something that I think for Americans is very important, right? Because what I learned on TikTok is that there's people on TikTok that are so talented, so gifted naturally, that they could use their natural skill, talent, their mind, right? And whatever gift they have, whether it's being funny, comedian, just talking on videos and providing information, providing sources that you could get information from, and different things like that. Gamers, streamers, and all types of stuff, right? On TikTok. And TikTok was banned, and currently today is the 19th, a day before inauguration, the 19th of January 2025. TikTok is not available in the United States because the Supreme Court upheld the ban against TikTok, which I think is owned by ByteDance, a Chinese company. And I think the matter was matters of national security. Under that clause that it was information is being leaked from the United States into Chinese or people who are not very trustworthy. That, let's say that, right? However, we all know that most things in your house is made in China. Okay, if you take up simple things that's located in your home, it's made in China. iPhones, a lot of devices and stuff like that. So the argument of national security, of course, it doesn't sit well with the American public. If you think about the number of 170 million people who watch TikTok, download TikTok in the United States, a lot of those out of that 170 million people, those people do depend on TikTok for a complete livelihood. That means it's their job. This is what they do full time, and they make a living off of it. So now, of those 170 million people, of course, there's a few thousands, probably a couple of 100,000 that do get paid from TikTok. Now they've lost that income from TikTok. Okay, whether they're doing a TikTok shop, as it was, TikTok shop, they're doing live streaming, gaming, and stuff like that. They no longer have that income. Okay, and as we all know, we see where other social media giants owned by billionaires, we all know, Facebook and Instagram, they were very strong behind the ban of TikTok. They were very big on going against TikTok to get it banned, and they finally did. Of course, by using money and their influence, political associations, political friends, and they pushed this bill and they got it banned. Now, if you look at this thing, there's no way on earth I would ever download Instagram, Facebook, or any app that's associated with Mark Zuckerberg, right? Because I think it's unfair, not only to the American public, but it's unfair to humanity across the globe. Because those 170 million people in America, they do have a fan base for those who make content that's globally, okay? Those people are global. Right? So it's not about just the people in the United States. The people in the United States, they provide a lot of different things for people who also have TikTok in different countries. Now, mind you, the United States is just one country, right? There's many other countries that didn't ban TikTok. They still have TikTok, right? But the US decided to ban it. It's going to make a big economical impact in a lot of people's pockets, okay? It will. And also, some of the best, a lot of great content creators are in America. So those fan base that's overseas in different countries They can no longer view the American content, which they much enjoyed and were a part of, live streams and stuff like that, playing games and stuff like that. So you could see where this will not only impact and affect the people in America, it will also impact and affect people in different parts of the world. Now, in my opinion, and this is an honest opinion, I don't think it's fair that a handful of billionaires should influence the United States government to ban an app, right, which not only impacts America, right, it impacts the entire globe. But they deliberately did so because they know that the United States is the most influential economic pocket on the face of this earth. They know that. Okay? So, of course, they're going to aim for the head of the snake. And that they did. They did cut off the head of the snake, which is ban TikTok from the United States, which hurt a lot of people. I saw people on TikTok crying and doing all types of stuff. Why? Because they're not comfortable with this ban. It's very unfair. Also, I think it has a lot to do with information sharing and the quickness of information that people could pass around on TikTok, right? I don't think there's a lot of people in high power and places that are a fan of this. They don't like the idea of people sharing information at such supersonic speed. They hate it. And here's the thing. If you take a look at Instagram and Facebook, which I don't deal with those things, if you take a look at them, you'll realize that if you post a video on these platforms, even a reel or whatever, they'll just get a few views. Okay? So they want you to pay for views. And the same thing with YouTube. Okay? YouTube also wants you to pay for views. Okay? So you make a video and you post it on YouTube. They do not push your video. We all know YouTube is like that. They don't. They just leave your video sitting there. Maybe you get a view, 2 views, 3 views, and that's it. And these are some of the reasons why people moved away from YouTube, from Facebook, from Instagram, and all these other websites that choose who they want to promote. They choose whose videos they want to push. Their website and YouTube do not have the tools that TikTok have to make the great effective videos that people love and enjoy as TikTok. We all know that. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you do not have the tools that TikTok have to make the quality content you can make on TikTok. Right? You just don't. YouTube has been around for forever. So of course they have longevity and, they have a good search history and a lot of content to provide people a lot of different things, but learning. But it's not a fun thing. It's not as fun as TikTok. And this is where people get away from these social medias, right? And they are into TikTok. Because if you want fun, you stay on TikTok. Look at the world's economy today. It's very stressful. It's very draining. Okay? People are looking for entertainment. People are looking to get enlightened. People are looking to learn different things, right? They're looking to venture into different cultures, and they do it via TikTok. They learn a lot on TikTok. So with the ban of TikTok, what you'll find is that this information becomes a lot harder to reach by people, right? When they could have just reached it by one of their favorite influencers in a different country in the world. Okay, and those same influencers, a lot of them use different social media websites. But here's the thing. Those social media websites, specifically Instagram and Facebook, they do not push the people's content. All right. What they're pushing is the ban of TikTok. They pushed the ban of TikTok and they got it. Right. And now they have content creators and content consumers cornered. Okay, they have content consumers and content creators cornered and are forcing people to use the websites that they want you to use to wad their pockets with cash. You understand what I'm saying? I will never support it, and I implore people, make a good decision on what websites and social media you use to post or enjoy or consume content from. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be consuming content from something that's working against the greater good of the majority of people in this world and is working on supporting a handful of billionaires. I wouldn't support that. You understand? So think about what you're doing. It's very unfair to people globally, okay, that they ban TikTok. I hope they reinstate it and get TikTok going, because there's so many people on TikTok who just use it to provide valuable information. It's not a dancing app, as it was popular talked about a few years ago. It's not a dancing app. It's actually real information on it that is true and provide a lot of troubleshooting, problem solving things for people. Okay, and it keeps people connected. It keeps people connected across the globe. So it's way better than YouTube. It's way better than Facebook. It's way better than Instagram. These are the type of oppressive tactics is the reason why you find these billionaires will drain people and try to corner them by using money and diplomatic resources like the federal government in the United States to push the poor and the disadvantaged into the corner they want you, so they could use you for their own good. Now, they'll make up an excuse about national security. It's not good for the kids. It's not good for that. We all know that with data and technology, they can be restricted. A lot of things can be done to restrict this. Okay? Now, ByteDance, they are forcing this company to sell, right? To sell it to an American investor. That's their goal. Forcing them to sell to an American investor. But guess what? I do not blame ByteDance. I'm sorry for the people who lost their accounts and lost all this work that they've been doing for 2, 3, 5 years on TikTok. But I do not blame ByteDance for not wanting to sell. You can't force people to sell you what they created, okay? Using the law and all this other stuff. A partnership would sound like a better deal to me, right? But the brute force and bullyism of pushing ByteDance and the owner of TikTok or owners of TikTok into a corner to sell, that's very bully-like. It's bully behavior, and I don't blame ByteDance for not wanting to sell their product, okay? Because that's very antiquated to me, very medieval type, big stick and brute force behavior. And with YouTube, this video, who knows how many people will see it? And there's so much information in there, because it will be posted on YouTube, and we all know how YouTube is. Okay, we all know there's a lot of creators have been on YouTube for years and years and years, and YouTube, they don't push videos. Okay, if you post a video on TikTok, you're guaranteed at least 200 views, 300 minimum, right? And if it's a good video that has value in it or entertainment or whatever, I guarantee you the video will go viral, okay? Because the algorithm is very good on TikTok. Versus on YouTube, you post your video, if it gets 5 views, maybe 2 views, whatever they choose or decide. And you got to understand this. Just like TikTok, YouTube is a controlled system. People aren't dumb. We know this. We know that YouTube do not push these videos. They don't promote the videos. They do nothing with the videos, right? Why? Because they want you to pay them to promote the videos. We all know this. You understand what I'm saying? So once again, the poor and disadvantaged is being cornered thanks to all these billionaires, thanks to all these lobbyists who've been pushing for the ban of TikTok, forcing the poor and people who can actually create an income for themselves in a corner. But let me tell you something. The universe is set up in a certain type of way. And what's going to happen is this. There is going to come another app, and it's going to be American owned, right? That's going to come. It's probably going to be better than TikTok. And it's going to put you guys right back to square one. Because listen to this. Nothing that's done maliciously and out of pure evil, because that's what I think it is going to last. It won't last. Okay? That's just the way the universe is set up. All right. So that was my two topics I wanted to cover. And, do your own research. Don't listen to me. Do your own research and look into these things that I'm telling you about. So we covered the Marcus Garvey postmodestly pardoned by President Joe Biden before he left office. And we also spoke about the TikTok ban and how it's impacting and will continue to impact and affect society. If they reinstate it, good. If they don't, good. Right? But we know that it's disruptive and it's hurting a lot of people globally, not just in the United States. So once again, it's Big Muscle. I stay on the hustle. Catch me in the next video. Peace.